Reynolds shows up to like testify in his Deadpool suit, it's fucking over for Baldoni. It's done. If he goes in as Deadpool the character and does his whole like shtick right then and there, Justin Baldoni might as well just sign ownership of the It Ends With Us franchise over to Amber Heard. Like, I'll start. Greetings to all you wonderful popcorn cunts out there. Welcome to Popcorn Farts 420 with your host, investigative pop culture journalist Popcorn Farts, and my beautiful co-host and producer and part-time lover, Popcorn Queefs. Say hi to the popcorn cunts.
Hi.
Hi, popcorn cunts.
Hi. Hi, popcorn cunts.
It's fun to say it, right?
It's weird.
I guess I'll start. I find it ironic how many YouTubers shit talk Hollywood for Hollywood's inability to make new and creative stories and constantly rely on reboots and remakes when every single news story about a celebrity is them constantly chasing the old one. Case in point, the current drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, with everybody rushing and tripping over themselves to get to the finish line of who's going to call her Turd 2.0 or the second turd or whatever. They're just constantly comparing this to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard about that.
I can understand why the Heard Depp trial was like a media firestorm and a gold mine of just fucking entertainment. People were even calling it the new trial of the century, the trial of the new century, the old one being the OJ trial, the Depp Heard trial being like, oh my god, this might actually top it, with just how all the tea and juicy gossip and dirt that got spilled, and the oftentimes sought after behind the peak look at Hollywood and how these celebrities live. I didn't know Johnny Depp had his own private island that he would fly dates out to. And
Really?
yeah, I never knew that. That's how they met. Or I think the first time they hung out anyway, she said that she was flown into his private island.
Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Oh.
But this isn't about Amber Heard. In fact, it's quite the opposite, in my
You're
opinion.
making it about Amber Heard.
Look, there's a huge difference between somebody who cuts the finger of their significant other off and then drags them through, like, the tail end of their like just destroys their career with defamation of character during the height of the Me Too trials or height of the Me Too era where everything was like a witch hunt and like a witch trial. There's a huge difference between doing that and lying than this current legal battle going on between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Now, the title of this video may suggest that I am defending Amber Heard. I just want to go on record and say I think Amber Heard is a major bitch. We actually did a little bit of due diligence before we made this video. Thank you very much. And we basically watched like 10, 15 minutes of just video evidence of Amber. Now they got me
Blake Lively.
Blake. Now they got me doing it, fuckers. Blake Lively just being an absolute cunt to people, and she is. Like, there's that shit with the reporter that we saw. And
See, you say that, but I've never known Blake Lively to be a bitch, and I don't know a lot about her, but from what I've always like heard or seen, she just seems so sweet and nice. Now I don't know. Now, because we watched that video, she really was Mean Girl in that video with the interviewer. But
and to
apart from that video we watched, I don't know.
sorry. And to be fair to Blake Lively, this video, like, clearly this person who made these YouTube videos, and there were multiple, had ulterior motives in making it. They chose, like, what, like 10, 15 minutes of Blake Lively's worst moments. You can make that video with anybody. It doesn't inherently mean you're a bad person.
I was thinking that when you showed it to me.
However, I personally believe, based on all the video evidence and the behind-the-scenes testimonials of people that have worked with Blake Lively, saying that she wasn't exactly pleasant to be around, I tend to side on opinion that she's a major bitch and stuck up in Hollywood. But I don't think that makes her Amber Heard, though. No, they're saying
Not at all.
no. I don't.
Amber
I
Heard
don't
was
think so.
her own fucking category. I don't even know. She was like,
It's a completely different situation with its own unique set of circumstances. Then you have Ryan Reynolds like thrown into the mix, and now everybody's shitting on Ryan Reynolds. This poor guy. He's a husband. He's her husband. He has to have her back. And not only that, they're business partners in their brand. I guess we should go back to how this all started, huh? Like with the It Ends With Us movie, which was the adapted from the book by I think Colleen. I forget her name.
I
You
don't think they care.
No, they don't. You talk though. I'm gonna just do some
No!
research.
I don't know what to say. Don't leave me to it.
Just talk about Blake Lively and how nice of a person she is.
I
You
don't know.
said
I never said I know that she's a nice person. I said I don't know enough about her, but from what I've seen, that's the opinion I formed is that she seemed like such a nice person. She seems kind in the videos I saw, like,
yeah.
and so
That's
I don't know. I don't know enough about her to say.
Colleen Hoover. That's the name. I was
No one
right.
cares.
I was right. Her name is Colleen Hoover, and she's the author of It Ends With Us, and also the sequel books like It Starts With Us, all that shit. I'm gonna go back to the beginning because a lot of people have been wondering like, how did this start? Like, how did this feud or this beef begin? And a lot of it has to do with the casting, like, and Justin Baldoni's production company, because they kind of shot themselves in the foot over this one. I guess when they were trying to get this movie made, it's a passion project for Justin Baldoni, the director and star of the film,
Hmm.
uh, because he is an abuse survivor himself. So he had like a personal attachment to this project. Like his production company bought the rights to the book.
So he went through it, and then now he's being accused of it.
That's the shortcut answer. Yeah, a little bit, but it's more complicated than that, and we're gonna get into some of those
Yeah, but we
nuances.
know too that a lot of people who have been abused carry it on to other people. They abuse others. Not every time, but it happens.
Oh, it's interesting you say that because Blake Lively's camp is saying there was a little bit of that going on in the set in terms of sexual harassment allegations and all around inappropriate behavior on the part of her boss, for all intents and purposes, the director Justin Balbadoni. Um, Now, when trying to get this movie made, the author of the book actually was obsessed with Blake Lively. She was a huge fan of her on Gossip Girl.
Who was in Gossip Girl?
Blake Lively.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the author of the book was actually pushing for Blake Lively to take on the lead character. Justin Baldoni and Justin Baldoni's casting staff actually recommended Blake Lively for the part. They wanted someone with name recognition, like a popular figure, to kind of bring notoriety to the role. And so Justin Baldoni, according to him, said he met with Blake Lively and she was the perfect fit for the character of the film. Lily Bloom, I believe, is her name. I could be wrong. Someone correct me. I don't really follow the fucking franchise, but yeah, said she was perfect for the role. And I don't really believe Justin Baldoni. When I'm sure that he did say that in the beginning of the film, but this is completely my own theory. I think he was kind of pressured by the author and his own people within his company to get Blake, because Blake Lively brings her own fucking production company and all that behind her. So but they hired her, and part of her package deal was she was co-executive producer, which meant she was going to be putting money into this film herself. Because
Yeah.
according to her, it was a big project for her. Oddly enough, Justin Baldoni's camp is accusing her of never having even read the books, like not even being familiar with the source material. But Blake Lively's always gone on record to say she was a huge fan going into this. That's why she wanted the part. Um, yeah, but part of her package deal was she got to be the lead actress. And Justin Baldoni said he was cool with that at first. and I guess changed his mind as the course went on. But some of the allegations that she's thrown at him was that during production of the movie, um, he didn't feel that she was right for it based on her age, which they are like the character and Blake Lively are almost 20 years apart. The character is like in her early
Young, right?
20s. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Blake Lively, of course, I think being in her late 30s, early 40s. So, and having just had a kid, like a fourth or fifth kid, Justin Baldoni was like, I don't think this is the right, she's right for the part. But I think his hands were tied. And who knows if this movie would have been made without Blake Lively. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Getting a film made is actually really, really hard work. Surprise. Shocker. And there's people that are willing or not willing to invest their money unless some of their demands are made. And it sounds to me like reading in between the lines, one of the demands was that Blake Lively get the lead, get her deal. So, yeah, that's the story going into that. And I guess they also had different interpretate. They had different artistic imaginings for how they wanted this to go. Like Blake Lively, I think, wanted the premiere to be almost a Barbenheimer event.
What's that?
Well, when Barbie came out, it also came out at the same time as Oppenheimer. They were both
Oh,
two totally different movies, but both financially successful, and they
yeah.
called it Barbenheimer.
Okay.
And I think Blake Lively wanted that again, but with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
You
Okay.
know, because they were both out at the same time, and uh, Justin Baldoni was like, "Oh my god," probably just putting his head in his hands, saying, "This is not how I wanted my vision to come out. This is not
Right.
how I wanted it to be. This is a very serious film about domestic violence, and she's treating it like fucking Barbenheimer." You know,
Yeah.
we watched a little bit of that in the wristbands. Like, I think Justin Baldoni, if he had it his way, would have had everyone at that premiere wearing black, and she was dressed in a brightly colored floral pattern. She was encouraging other people to
Yeah,
show
she
up
said
there.
wear your florals.
It's all very, and trust me, I'm sure once this trial starts, we're gonna be hearing all sorts of interesting, crazy shit. Ultimately, this trial I think is gonna be done in the media, just very similar to how Depp and Heard was. So I can understand why people are tripping over themselves to call it Herd 2.0, but this is definitely not. This is a totally different situation with way different players. And coming from her criticism, so like she was saying that one of the things he did was he would comment on her weight. And
Yeah, that she needed to lose weight, the baby weight.
yeah, one of the things that he would do was he would like show people and I guess her pictures of like other women and saying, "Man, doesn't she look good?" Like, and I can see him being like, I can see him saying that just because this was a huge passion project for this guy. This was his like dream to get this movie made, and here he's seeing it like not coming out in the way he envisioned it, and I can
Right.
see it being very frustrating. And I think there were at times moments where he probably just like let slip his frustration, like, God, why do you have to look so old, or like, can't you do this, or like, wouldn't it be great if you could look like that? I can see him saying some shit to that extent
Because he's frustrated with the
because
movie.
yeah, yeah, I can see him saying that and letting it slip, not with any like, I don't think it's meant to be abusive or any nefarious reason other than he wanted his film to be what he envisioned.
Right.
And another criticism she had was that the kissing scenes were uncomfortable. Like there's a certain way actors and actresses want to be kissed, like
It
during,
said he would like start at her ear and like rub his lips down her neck and stuff like
yeah,
that
things
and
like that.
tell her she smelled so good and
And I can believe it happened. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Like she was like, you might get like tanning
yeah,
lotion on
fake
me,
tan.
fake tanner, and he's like, that's okay, it smells good. But I can see him being as passionate about this movie as he was, being in that character and wanting to relay that dynamic to the audience,
Well,
because
that's what's confusing. If the characters are supposed to be like that, then how, and you know that's the role you're playing, then how is it uncomfortable? You signed up for that role, and that's part of the role. So how is it? I don't understand that part.
I'll be honest, I think she's using all of these things to as a power play to get control of the book, because this could be a franchise, a very financially successful franchise, whoever's hands it's in. And it's clear that they're not going to go forward working together. They're
Right.
either going to have to get a new director and a new main actor lead, or they're going to have to get a new main actress lead, and
Did the
not.
movie ever come out?
Oh yeah, it came out.
Oh,
It
okay.
was yeah, it came out the same like a week after Deadpool and
Was
Wolverine.
it
That's
successful?
yeah, it was.
Oh.
Financially, it was successful. They just had different. It, I suppose it depends on how you view successful. Financially, though, yes. If you're viewing it from Justin Baldoni's side, it was a massive failure.
Financially.
Financially, yes, it was very successful. I would say so. I don't know what the exact box office revenues, but it was up there. But again, like situations like the slow dancing and him kissing, I can see him being in the character and doing that, not because he wanted to hook up with her, not because he wanted to sleep with her, because that's what the characters would do in that situation. And I can see her complaining about it, and I can see him becoming frustrated even more so at all the problems that they were having. I guess another part of this is Ryan Reynolds did eventually get involved, and I guess that he yelled at him on a plane. Like they met together to go get on like this jet, and Ryan Reynolds like laid into him. I guess Ryan Reynolds would lay into him a lot about wanting certain creative control. Because I guess once Blake Lively came on board, over time it became more and more apparent that Ryan Reynolds, as her business partner and husband, would also be contributing like creative. Even in the credits, there's a guy listed as Gordon Reynolds, which is like Ryan Reynolds' alias.
Oh,
Because remember Nice Pool from Deadpool
yeah.
and Wolverine? Ryan Reynolds based that off of Justin Baldoni.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, the character was based off of Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni is actually mentioning that scene. Great scene, by the way. I love all the scenes with Nice Pool. Which is why I don't think Ryan Reynolds is going to be affected by this at all. I think he's going to get dragged just by association through it while this trial happens. But I think overall, I see a lot of people complaining, saying Ryan Reynolds is a piece of shit. Fuck Ryan Reynolds. Why would he be with her? He's her husband, folks. He has to stick by her side. And think of it from Ryan Reynolds' perspective. He's sitting at home, like talking to Blake Lively, his wife, and he's like, "How's work going?" And she's telling him, "Oh, this happened, this happened."
Right.
As her husband, he's probably fucking pissed. And I imagine he did call Justin Baldoni and was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like she's the lead actress, she's the executive or the co-executive producer. Fucking stop being a dick. That's what I would say if I was her husband. So I see a lot of people saying that they're done with Ryan Reynolds and they're never going to see another Ryan Reynolds project again.
Well,
And
that's their loss.
did it right? It's like, yeah, have fun. I'm still going to see Deadpool 4, motherfuckers. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
There was something I read in that article that said something like about what's his name, Baldoni.
Justin Baldoni.
Yeah, that he had hired like some type of intimacy person to click like say certain things to Amber or something like that, but she not Amber. Oh my gosh,
They got you doing it too. It's so
Blake,
subliminal. It's
Blake,
not Amber Heard.
Blake Lively. Anyway, and she refused to go or something like that, and so he had to relay it into his own with his own words, and she took offense to the things he said.
Really? That
Yeah,
was in the People. I think that was in the People article I sent you.
yeah, the article you sent
The
me,
People magazine article. Yeah.
something like that. I
It's
might not be saying
crazy.
it 100% correct, but it's something like that.
No, you're good. It's fucking nuts. You know, it being LA in California, and I think this trial is going to be in California. If Ryan Reynolds shows up to like testify in his Deadpool suit, it's fucking over for Baldoni. It's done. If he goes in as Deadpool the character and does his whole like shtick right then and there, Justin Baldoni might as well just sign ownership of the It Ends With Us franchise over to Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
I did it again. She's not Amber Heard,
You're
folks.
not doing like you're not what's the word called? Whatevering your case very well. you're
This is why you
You're
don't.
like, this is nothing like Amber Heard and Johnny
It's
Depp. We've
not.
both
It's really
said,
not,
we
though.
both called her Amber.
That's because the fucking YouTube media has brainwashed us and poisoned our souls, and we're trying to fight against it. Damn it! I'm trying to think. I think that's. Let's see. I know Blake Lively didn't shit in Justin Baldoni's bed, so there's that. I don't think
Or cut his finger off.
she didn't cut off any of Justin Baldoni's fingers or toes. Well, I guess Justin Baldoni is also like he lost his. He was gonna direct the next Pac-Man movie. There's never been a Pac-Man movie. There was gonna be a Pac-Man movie, and Justin Baldoni was gonna direct it, and he says he lost that position because of all this nonsense. It's doing a lot of harm to Blake Lively's career, actually, because she does for the last year or so, she just hasn't looked favorable. Like she hasn't done a lot or gone out of her way to fucking make her situation any better. Like that situation with the reporter, the lady that was like who commented on her baby bump, and Blake Lively's like, "How about your baby bump?" And it turns out that journalist couldn't have kids, like she was infertile. So it made Blake Lively look just giving Blake Lively the benefit of the doubt, and I don't know why I would, but let's say I gave Blake Lively the benefit of the doubt and just said it was a misunderstanding, and maybe Blake Lively is super sensitive about her weight and her baby bump. Let's go with that. Once you found out that lady didn't mean any harm by it and she's infertile, so you saying it back to her like that really hurt her, you should like own up and apologize. Like you should be like, yeah, like when they ask her about it, like she should be like, yeah, I did see that, and or fuck, it's not like she's not online. Like her and Ryan Reynolds are like this gotta be $1 billion brand at this point. The two of them together. I don't know how much their company together is worth, but I imagine their combined net worths or whatever. Whatever. I'm rambling, but like I forgot my point. I forgot what I was even saying.
I don't know. I thought we
Shit.
were wrapping it up, but then
Oh,
you
are
went on
we?
the spiel.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why she should have apologized. She should have at least like came out and been like, "I apologize. I was being a bitch that day," or "I took her. I got over. I was overly sensitive. I just had." There's a million things you could have said, but at least apologize to her. Like that would have done wonders for her, and she never did it. There's a lot of, and there's just also all these interview junkets where she's just being a cunt. Like she just reeks of narcissism. So I understand why people are calling this Amber Heard 2.0, because if you were ever going to assign the next suitable replacement, it definitely would be hard to argue not for Blake Lively, because she's just a cunt. But I think I think this just deserves its own category, to be honest with you. It seems like being a cunt isn't illegal. So if she's
I'd
using,
be in jail.
dude, if she look, man, Blake Lively's playing the game. Like I think she wants control of the fucking film rights to that series, so she can do it, or at least keep putting it out.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I think this is a power play, and I think if Justin Baldoni, even though I can understand his motives and like commenting on her weight and her age, and I can understand her saying that because it's frustrating, right? We agree it's frustrating probably for him. I can understand his frustrations, and as a director wanting it to be a certain way, I get all that. But if you did or said any of that shit that she's accusing, technically it does fall under sexual harassment, regardless of what your motives are, right?
Right.
Right? I mean, if he's fucking, it just is what it is. You can't go around like trying to encourage a woman to lose weight. You know what I mean? On the job, even though it's
Can't
tricky.
walk into her dressing room when she's undressed.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, that's what she said.
Dude, he walked into her dressing room.
Yes, and that's one of the time. I think that's when he said she needed to lose weight when she was 4 months or 4 months postpartum.
I didn't even hear that part. Oh damn. Yeah, so he better come forward with a lot of good witnesses and people like I don't know. We're rambling. That's crazy. Yeah, he might be fucked. Not in terms of a career. Like that's another thing I wanted to say before we go. Is another beef I have with all these like Herd 2.0 videos is it's like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing came at the height of like the Me Too trial, kind of towards not where it was wrapping up, but where it was like people were starting to come to their senses a little bit more and starting to be like, "Yo, people, people need their day in court and a chance to plead their cases." So, and the culture war is over, folks. We won.
They can probably hear the lady in the hallway over you.
Yeah, we're getting drowned out by our neighbors. No, but the culture war is over. And at this point, it's just like people are just fighting culture war reenactments. And I think we're past that. I think Justin Baldoni's going to be fine after this. Once this whole thing blows over, I'm sure he'll get work again. People see through this. They know that
It
he
said the
was.
trial's not till next March.
This is just this is just business type shit. Nobody sees Justin Baldoni as a sexual abuser at all, and nobody in the future is going to be like, I can't work with that guy. So
Well, apparently he already lost a few roles.
that's just because we're in the beginning of it. We're in the pre-trial phases, but once this trial is over, he'll be fine. No one's gonna Me Too Justin Baldoni. She's using those Me Too arguments to try and win control of the fucking film rights. I guarantee it. I just have a sixth sense about these sort of things. And 8 times out of 10, I'm usually right. Usually.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this would be a great opportunity to ask the chat for that $1 donation. Times are tough.
$1, y'all.
Yo, if you do the $1 donation, we'll stop doing these videos.
Do you
Like,
even have a place for them to donate the dollar?
yeah,
Where?
on YouTube. You just tell YouTube you want to give Popcorn Farts $1, right? Isn't that how it
I
works?
don't know. Anyway, goodbye.